Let me just record this. Well, good morning, ladies. So good to see you all again and welcome back. I see a couple of faces was on the funnels call a second or an hour ago. Welcome back. Babe, do you just want to hello?
Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing?
I'm trying to
Good
remember
to see your smiley faces.
include him.
Oh, that's kind of you. Thank you.
Okay, so how are we doing with our courses or our ebooks? What's happening? Who wants to go first?
I'm already, I can maybe give a bit of feedback.
Yes, Lisa.
Good morning, all. As some of you maybe saw last week, I finished my ebook. I'm still pondering on a price point for the ebook, which I'm not too sure. Some of my clients, I've gave it to 3 of my clients to read, to give feedback for my testimonial page and to when I start advertising. And some of them say I can go up to 200 Rand, but I'm not too sure if it's a bit too pricey for a first book coming out. So that's the first thing that I did. And now I have 3 testimonials to use when I start advertising. But actually where I want to get to is with MailChimp, I did a first lead magnet, as some of you might know, on Women's Day, where I only got a response of about 18 ladies that I've got 1,400 people on my Facebook group that reacted, which I was a bit disappointed because it was so low. So this weekend I decided, listen, I'm just going to take a step in faith and try something. So I did a paid ad on Facebook as a lead magnet, but on the lowest possible pricing per day I could do. So what I did was I just did it for 3 days, which is probably too short, but because money is also a factor, I didn't want to go too high. So in the 3 days, I advertised my free lead magnet. I got 190 clicks on those ads, where I put the parameters in only women interested in makeup and beauty and those things. Got 190 clicks. I got 132 ladies that went to the ad. And then from there, 102 downloaded the lead magnet.
Wow.
So in 3 days, I basically grew my lead magnet from 18 people to 120, and it costed me 164 Rand.
Fantastic. That is fantastic.
So I just wanted to give you guys an idea what can happen in terms, okay, I don't think it's the ideal to do payment, but if you really see you're struggling to get leads out of your current group, I just went in faith and did it with everybody in South Africa. So now I definitely have 120 ladies that I know are interested in makeup, which I then can use to sell to. And for the 102 that clicked on it, MailChimp showed me 90 opened the email, which is fairly high. So for the other 12 that didn't open, I resent an email this morning to say, hi, I'm just reminding your download is in your inbox to see what's going to happen.
Lisa, I think your figures are awesome. It is so, like, really, that is such a good investment of your money in that. And the reason I say that is, I know you're thinking, oh, why do I pay for leads? But the reality is, you only, let's just say, I'm just going to use easy figures. Let's just say you price your ebook at 99 Rand, 100 Rand. You only need to sell 2 ebooks to cover the expense of generating 100 and how many leads was it? 30 leads.
130 leads, yeah.
So, and that doesn't mean that 130 leads are not going to buy from you in the future. Okay, so let's say I like working I'll talk about my when I do my workshop. So when I get registrations, I don't necessarily work on the amount of registrations I get. Let's just say I get 1,000 registrations. What I based all my figures on is how many people watch the live or the recording, the training. Okay, let's just say, and that's why so my training is uploaded to YouTube, because on YouTube I can see the amount of views. So then I can see how many people have watched it. So let's just say that 500 of the 1,000 people that registered have watched those, have watched the actual training. Now, for me, on average, it costs about 70 cents, babe, is what, about 8 rand, 8, 9 rand. Let's just say 10 rand. It costs me 10 rand to acquire a lead. Okay, so that's the cost when I pay my ads, when I advertise for my workshop. It costs me 10 rand per person to register for that workshop. Okay, so now let's say it's 1,000 people, so that is 10,000 rand. It cost me to gain those 1,000 leads. Now only 500 of those people watch the training. Now I work on the training, if it's a one-day training, I base my figures off the one-day training, and I would like to get a 10% conversion. That's me. That's now already kind of really refined my systems and refined my messaging. Yeah. So I go for a 10% conversion on that. On the digital lab, I had a 3-day event. Now, naturally, I know this from past experiences, that every day the amount of people that come back to watch becomes less and less and less.
Lower here.
Yeah. So I base my conversion on how many people watch day 3, the last day. Okay, because they're the ones that's going to see my whole sales pitch at the end of the workshop. So I've got to base it on that, because other people wouldn't have seen that. So let's just say that there's 500 people that have seen it. I want a conversion of 10%. That's 50 people. If I'm selling it into the lab, that's 50,000. That's 50 times 10,000 is 500,000. But I only spend 10,000 acquiring all those people. So my 10,000 has got a return of 500,000.
500, yeah.
Let's do funnels. If my 500 people watched it and I get a 10% conversion, my 50 people that have bought at 5,000 has given me a 250,000 rand return. So again, I invested 10,000 rand, but I got 250,000 rand back. That's like a 25 to 1 return on my money.
Wow, it's amazing.
So I don't want you to think of I'm paying for leads and it's not worth it, because let's just say that you've got your 130, and let's just say, for argument's sake, for maths, 100 of them have opened it up, they get the lead magnet. If you get a 10% conversion on that, and you get 10 people that sign onto your book, I'm just going to use 100 rand, at 100 rand, that's 1,000 rand that you've made, and it's only cost you 150 rand to get those leads. Plus, it doesn't mean you cannot sell to those leads in the future, because you're now going to nurture them. They're in your world, and they can potentially buy even bigger and, more expensive products from you. Yeah. So an investment, I think the thing is just to understand that when you've got your messaging right, when you understand who your ideal customer is and your messaging is right, that's when you're not wasting money on Facebook ads. It's when people just post things, when they don't get the messaging right, when they don't, stop the scroll, and they don't get that caption right, where people will say, oh, this is me. This sounds really interesting. This is what I've always wanted to learn. Like, let me see what this is all about. And they click on it. If you get your messaging right, then it's absolutely worth spending money on Facebook ads. But it's when you're just randomly posting and you don't really know what you're doing, and you say, I'm going to just try this, and I'm just going to put a post out there, and then 9 out of 10 times people are just trying to sell, which doesn't work. So it's definitely...
No, it doesn't.
No, it's definitely cheaper to run what we call lead generation ads, so where it goes straight to a lead magnet, so you just want your name and your email, than trying to convert. So for me, like I said, I can get a lead for under 10 rand if I just send it straight to a freebie. But the minute I send it to SOS, which is a paid offer, my cost goes up to about 100 rand.
Okay.
So that's my kind of limit. So I'm prepared to pay up to 100 rand for a lead for SOS, because my lifetime value on customers is, which means how long do they stay? They stay anything between an average of 6 to 8 months. So I don't make any money the first month. I make my money in the recurring months.
Recurring months.
Yeah.
Because
and
that's
also,
where I'm going to get now with my question for you.
okay.
Is I did now the payment for the lead magnet. Is it better now to sell my book to the people that I've got the emails to in my MailChimp, or run a paid ad to I don't know how to explain it. Kom ek sê dit in Afrikaans.
Yeah.
Is dit beter om die geld te spandeer op lead magnets en dan op aan hulle die boek te verkoop, of om direk die boek te probeer verkoop en advertensie daar op daai geld te spandeer?
Okay, I'll just answer in English. So
Yes.
it's definitely, cost-wise, it's going to be much cheaper selling your book to your email list. That's why I always say I make my sales with my email list. Okay, because I don't, except for SOS, which I'm running to a cold audience, but it's because it's a cheaper entry barrier than, like I could never run ads to go for people to buy the lab, because people won't pay that type of money just from running an ad. I need to nurture them to get into that. So it's much cheaper getting the leads to a freebie and pay for those ads, and then nurture your people and sell to them in the email. So if you think back now, I don't know how many of you have been in my world, like when it's my birthday or there's something on, I normally put together a little package and I call it like Maureen's birthday bundle or whatever, and I sell that. I only sell that to my email list. I don't even put it, I might put it on social media, whatever, for in case someone doesn't see it. But the idea for me is not to sell it through social media. I 100% sell it through my email list. So whenever I've got little things like that I want to sell, I sell it straight through to my email list. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You'll see how little I actually, and I'm not saying this is right, but again, it's my manpower. But how little I actually do on social media during a launch. So if you go and look, when I'm launching funnels or launching the lab, when I get time, I'll put something on social media. But my main strategy is not to gain people through social media to come in there. I've run my ad, I've gotten my leads, and now it's nurturing my email list. That's where I get my sales from.
Okay. Like last week, you sent the heritage type of email. I think it was something on heritage, just to touch base again.
Yeah.
I would use things like that in between.
Yeah, and you'll be getting another one today.
Oh, okay.
So definitely that's what I would do. I would now go, maybe let them send out maybe have you got an email nurture set up already on your freebie? Like, are there 2 or 3 emails
not
going
yet.
out?
That must be done today or tomorrow. So that was the next question.
Okay, so maybe that's
what do I send them?
Okay, are you in funnels? Are you in funnels?
Not yet.
Webinars?
That's when I start making money on my book, then I want to try and join you there.
Oh, okay. So in those emails that you follow up, just write something that's of value. And maybe I was just saying to them in the previous call, maybe just something in the lines of, how did you get into doing what you're doing? You know, just people are not interested in, I studied at University of Pretoria, I've got a BCom marketing degree, and I worked for IBM, and they're not interested in that. What they're interested in is, I was always looking to create an additional income, and I knew the way forward was to do it online, but I didn't know how. And then one day I decided to do this, and that is when everything changed for me. You're telling a story about how you got involved that they can relate to, that your ideal customer can relate to. So makeup, like I used to struggle so with makeup and didn't know what I should do when. And I finally decided, if I can just educate myself, how much better I will not. It's not about how I looked, but it was how it made me feel. So I decided to do this course, etc., etc. And that completely blossomed into something I never expected, where so many women came to me wanting to feel the way that I wanted to feel. And that's how I got involved in, you know, I'm just saying, creating something in it, but I'm telling a story around what it is. And then what you'll see again, check my post this morning, that's going to come out now. In the PA section, it's really, if you want to sell without selling, you sell it in the PA section. So at the bottom, kind regards, Lisa, or have a great day, Lisa, PS. If you want to learn more, if you wanted to learn how you can transform your makeup in 10 minutes, whatever your book is, sorry, I can't remember now.
No, doesn't matter.
You know,
I get what you mean.
Just a PS, in the PS, and then link, highlight the name of your book, make sure it's got a URL link, and that URL link will take them to the sales page of your
page. Makes sense.
Your book. Yeah. Otherwise,
I've set up the sales page already and got my confirmation from PayFast. All that is set up. It's now just to get the email going.
Okay. And then I would maybe I don't know, give it I would definitely send out at least another 2 emails before I would send them out. Then one email that you can send out then specifically to say for the next, and put a limit on it. For the next 48 hours, I have just created this brand new ebook on how to ABC. It is normally going to cost 199 Rand, but for the next 48 hours, you can grab it for whatever amount you want to do. Because remember, you can change your prices. No one's told you that if you start with one price, you have to stick to that price. You can change your price as much as you want. So, and it's always good if you want, like a lot of people, because those people are warm now because they've just opted in for your freebie, is to go in there and say, this is what I've got. This is the normal price. But for the next 48 hours, they can get it for half price. They can get it for 149 or save 25% and get it for 149 if it's 199.
I get what you mean. Yeah, because I'm just creating a freebie, also a cheat sheet to add onto the book. Because what I've seen all over is that the freebie, what you've done in your trainings is to add a freebie on is a good thing to have because it feels it's more value for money.
Exactly. So what we call it is we're stacking the price. So we're stacking more things, which doesn't cost you anything. So for instance, if you've got the course and then you've got all the workbooks, talking about mine, all the workbooks, you've got the free Facebook group, the coaching, the calls, like you put a value to all that stuff and then you stack it together, because in reality, that is what it costs. If someone had to do a call with Stephen or myself, it'll be 3,000 Rand an hour. Now suddenly you're getting that call and it's part of your package that you're buying. So it's just the minute you start stacking stuff together, it just shows much more value. And put it like that. You can get it for a 25% discount in the next 48 hours, plus whatever the freebie is that you're going to give them with it.
It's a makeup cheat sheet.
Okay. But it's only available for the next 48 hours. Why? Because we want to create urgency so that people will buy. Because if it's available forever, that's why all my launches, 7 days. 7 days, then I close it. Because otherwise someone will just say, oh, well, I'll just buy it in 2 weeks' time or 3 weeks' time. And then they forget and then something happens and then they don't do it. And you've got to create the urgency. It's only available now or they're going to miss out. And you can have those promos every 2 or 3 weeks, have a different reason. Why are you creating a promo around your ebook when you're selling it?
Okay. Thanks so much.
Well done.
Now thank you. Yeah, I'm very excited.
Yes, please keep us updated.
I'm really thrilled.
I'd love to know how it goes. No, this is fantastic.
I will definitely keep you updated. Thanks so much, Maren and Stephen. You started something in me in January with a small SOS ad, which I subscribed to, and now I'm launching my first ebook.
It's fantastic. I'm so excited for you.
It's changed my life, even though I haven't sold the book yet.
Doesn't matter. It's going to come. It's going to happen. You've got the interest now.
Thank you.
Yeah, Lisa, congratulations. That's incredible. I'm just having a quick look at your numbers there, and they're really, really high. If you compare them to industry average or anybody else, I'm guessing, just without knowing the exact figures, probably 3 times higher than normal. So you obviously did something very, very good. Something's right. If I was you, I'd copy and paste that as your template, and then you can redo it. Remember, a lot of people didn't see it. So you can perhaps, I don't know if it went with an image, you can just change the image, same writing. You can convert it into a video format where you're actually talking through that exact same process. So there's multiple ways you can repurpose that same thing, but it's clearly worked. So keep on using it until it doesn't work anymore. But like I say, I'd use that as a template if I were you, and any future ones
I must be honest, I asked ChatGPT to write me 3 or 4 pain points to go with it.
Yep.
And from there, I just made it my own, because I don't want it
Perfect.
to be, sometimes you can really see it's ChatGPT doing it.
Yeah.
But I
Yep.
asked for 4 pain points to go with the ad, and then I just made it my own, to put it that way.
Awesome.
Perfect, well done. The other thing with the emails, it's a good opportunity to engage with those 90 odd people or whatever it was, and gets a little bit of feedback. Like, what is your most difficult thing when putting on makeup, or, try and get engagement somehow, get them to try and respond to whatever you're going to be sending out. And like Maren said,
Okay.
there is, you don't have to go straight into the sell. It would be nice to just warm them up with 1 or 2 bit of value bits before you sell it to them. I just wrote in the chat there, urgency and scarcity. So
Okay.
don't be fixated so much on the price, especially in the beginning, because it'll be quite useful to get people buying, because then you get the testimonials, and you get a bit of traction and all that sort of stuff. So urgency, offers open until Friday night, blah, blah, blah. Or scarcity, for the first 10 people, you can get it at 99 Rand or something like that.
Okay.
The beauty is, if Maren mentioned it also, is return on investment. Like if you said in a business guy, give me $100, I'm going to give you 200 back, they'd be throwing a lot of money at you. So if you can convert 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, whatever the case may be is, remember, you can just scale this. Like next time you can spend 300 Rand if you start working out your percentages. Take those profits, reinvest more, you get more. And I think you live in Kuruman, if I remember correctly.
Uppington in the Northern Cape.
Uppington, similar place, I'm guessing.
Yeah, very similar.
Yeah, and I know you said the demographic there, not much money, and it's a limited market. Here now, I hope you're getting excited about the prospect of what's possible. If you redo this 10 or 20 times, suddenly you've got 2,000 email addresses, and then you can go worldwide, and you can sell the book anywhere in the world. It's mind-blowing what's possible. So good luck with it.
Thank you so much.
And I'm very excited for you. I read some stats this week, and I wanted to share it with you ladies, because I sometimes think you think I might be talking nonsense. Some stats came out this week to say here that the digital course industry, digital product industry, in the next 3 years, it's going to grow to $457 billion US. And they reckon in the next 8 years, it's going to grow to $800 billion. There is such a huge demand for online training. More and more people realize that they can learn something in the comfort of their home, in a short space of time, at a much less cost than it is to go to a training institution of some sort, and working for much and doing it for much cheaper. And people need that convenience, especially people that are working. So the other thing is, it's still a new thing in South Africa. There are hardly any South Africans that are selling online courses. It is such a small percentage. And I believe, we're sitting in a country of 65 million people. The scope is unbelievable of what we can do just here in this country, and doing it authentically for South Africans. There's going to be a huge demand and a huge explosion. I've been saying this now, and I can tell you now, it's going to come, where more and more people are investing in courses with locals. So I really want you to take action and do it, and not let your fear hold you back, because there's a huge, huge, huge opportunity here waiting for us. Babe.
Yeah, has anyone got any questions before I just want to make a suggestion? Any questions on any of Lisa's stuff so far?
I just want to say again with Lisa's stuff here. So, you know, you have your money in the bank or you go and invest it. And if you're getting, well, I'm specifically talking Oz now, it's a couple of percent, but I'm maybe in South Africa, 10%, 15%, I'm not sure, return on your money. And you think, okay, well, that's a good return on your money. Even say 20%, that's a good return on your money. I mean, Lisa, with the potential of selling 10 ebooks, she's on that investment that she's got. She's made like a, what's that?
600%.
600% return on her money. That's huge. There's nowhere, no investment will give you a 600% return on your money. And it's such a small barrier of entry. You know, so if you've got 1,000 Rand and you want to grow that 1,000 Rand, this is the way you do it. You spend 1,000 Rand and you get 10,000 back. Then you spend 2,000 Rand and you get 20,000 back. That is how you grow your income. That's how you grow. That's how you give yourself a pay rise every month when you do a new promotion. It's huge. It really is. Like when you start thinking of it from a business point of view and a return of investment, a return of your, I know in the beginning we put a huge amount of time into all this stuff, but then once it's done, now you can just sell that ebook over and over and over and over. The work is done.
Yeah, you can have part two of, you can have a trilogy. J.K. Rowland's ebooks for makeup. And then you can have the video series. People want to buy the video series, for example. So I just want to say is, for some of you, don't get demoralized or dejected when you see the Lisas and the Mariannes and the Bronwyns doing their thing. Because remember, they at a different stage of the journey. They've got different experiences, different track records, different databases, different group of followers, whatever. So if you stuck in the moment, I just wrote down a few notes here. Like if I had to start everything all over again, or like if I want to launch my course at some point, is just to go back to some of the basics, and maybe this might help somebody. So, you know, who are you? What do you do? And how can you help me? So the first thing is who's the person out there that needs your help specifically? So most people, what they're doing is they making up their flyer and they're jumping into an airplane and they're flying over the whole of Johannesburg and they're throwing out the leaflets. And the leaflets are just blowing in the wind, and then they hope some people are going to pick it up, and then they hope they make a sale here or there. It'll work short term for some sales, but what you want to do is get into the groove of creating something that's sustainable long term. So throwing the flyers out of the airplane is not going to work very well if you want to grow a long-term business. So who's that person specifically that you need to identify? So your product's not for everybody, as we've said before. It should be for everybody, but the reality is there's so many different ways of getting to the transformation, and yours is just one of many ways. So first, who's that person? And then why should they specifically come to you? Because you're competing against hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. So what's going to make you unique? What's going to make you stand out? Why are they going to say, yep, I need to go to Lisa for makeup? Because there's a lot of people that do it, but why specifically her? Or why should people go to Marissa for, you know, for their kids' bedroom transformations or whatever? So what can you do different that everybody else is not doing? So if everybody's doing this thing, just go and do the opposite of what they do. Go and do something different. Like even if you're in the legal profession or financial services profession, there's so many ways you can stand out.
Babe, do you want to give the Domino's example?
Yeah, so if you think of Domino's Pizza, I don't know if they have it in South Africa, Domino's Pizza. But anyway, Domino's Pizza, their unique selling point that totally transformed their business was something like fresh, hot pizza delivered in 30 minutes or less, guaranteed. So they weren't saying it's a good pizza or a wholesome pizza or Granny Magda's secret recipe. all they were just saying is you're going to get a hot, fresh pizza in 30 minutes or less, guaranteed, or the pizza was free, basically. And so their target market was basically college students. They were hungry, small budget, and they needed to eat now, and they didn't have the cooking facilities. So just that one little line there totally transformed the Domino's business. So what can it be for you? Why? Just have a think about why people should specifically come to you. Yeah, those were the other thing was, I just wanted to chat quickly about doing some of these things in parallel. You know, we've mentioned a few times, you don't have to get to stage 6 here before you can do something. You know, your social media facelift should already have been done by now. Your social media posts and scheduling, you should be scheduling maybe a week in advance. That should be happening in the meantime, so that in a month's time or 2 months' time, you know, when you're releasing your ebook or whatever, your course or your workshop, whatever the case may be, is that you're not just coming in straight to a cold market. People have already heard from you for weeks and weeks and weeks, or months and months and months. Anybody got any questions?
Can I ask a quick question, Stephen?
Sure.
So I had this brainwave idea that I should do a podcast with women on the sideline. Just women of different industries that want to tell their story in like a few minutes, 20 minutes, and then I share that on my page. Do you think that is a distraction or a good idea?
Look, Maren can speak more into this because she had a podcast, but she stopped it about 18 months ago or so. So the podcast is a great idea because it's great lead generation, providing value. You can build up your audience. The one negative is it's extremely time consuming.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about.
That's the only thing. But I mean, if you've got the time and the inclination, and remember, you've got then the consistency, because once you start it and you commit to say once a week or once every 2 weeks, it's something that you should be carrying on. I don't know, Dol, do you want to add something?
Yeah, no, I think just what you said there, it is very time consuming. It's one of the reasons why I stopped doing it for a while. I've got quite, I think, I don't know how many episodes, there's 70, 80 episodes in there. But it takes up a lot of time, because for me, yours might be different because you're interviewing people. So you could literally just call someone and it's like an hour interview or half an hour interview, where mine was on specific subjects. So I had to really plan it out. I had to know what I was going to talk about. So it wasn't just the planning and the research side of it. Then I had to record it, edit it, and then upload it and do all that. Where if you're doing, I wouldn't know if I would necessarily start a podcast, but you could definitely do a live interview on, do you use Facebook?
I think live would stress me out more.
But you know,
so I thought just to keep it simple, like not more than 15 minutes, and I give them a set of 5 questions. The point was to talk to women where they just reveal who they really are behind the name, the brand. So get a real sense of who she is, and then let that story inspire others. But I just give them a set of 5 questions. We keep it simple. I record it on Zoom, and I then add the audio in the podcast post. And 5 women has already said yes to me that they want to do it, but I need to keep it as simple as possible. You know?
Oh, absolutely. Then I would do it. I mean, if you've got people and it's easy enough for you, I think, again, my reach here is just, I don't know enough people in South Africa. But if you have got people in your industry, by all means, go for it, do it, and then repurpose when you're interviewing it on Zoom. Make sure that both, you know, that you're on gallery view, so that both of your pictures are there, and repurpose that interview on like YouTube, on your social media platforms, everything, definitely. And then you can drag out the MP4 for the podcast. No, I would definitely do it. Just work out. I mean, just sit down maybe, because if you want to do it weekly, it's 52 people that you need to run it. And I know you don't have to have, you can, some weeks you could just talk yourself and do some training yourself. But just kind of think about that, because you want to be a good 2 months ahead of, like, I would pre-record 2 months worth, have it there, and then schedule them out to go out every week onto your podcast, or decide if you want to do. I mean, kind of, if you're starting a podcast, people want to know that it's there. So that's why
Yeah.
weekly is kind of the minimum, because otherwise the other
Okay.
option you can do is you can do a series, you know, like a TV series that comes and there's like 20 episodes, and then that series expires, and then, you know, when you're ready and you've maybe pre-recorded another bunch, you can say, okay, series 2 is starting now.
Yeah. Yeah.
That might be a better option as well that you can do.
And then just change the topic or the whatever. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I don't want it to be too time consuming, and that's why I did a podcast, because I don't want to be stressed out about how I look or the person looks. So I just thought, let's just do the audio for now.
But seriously, again, people do not care about the looks or whatever. They're there for the content.
The story, yeah, for sure.
They're there to find out about it and whatever, and they're not looking at what you're wearing or whether you've got makeup on or anything like that.
They probably will judge me anyway.
That's the story in your head. Is anyone right now judging Bronwyn and the way she looks and what she's wearing?
I mean, Lisa, I'd like to get your book too, by the way, your ebook, because I know very little about makeup. I need to up my skills.
Thanks,
But
Bronwyn.
thank you, Marlon. I appreciate that feedback.
Okay, all good. Any other questions? Yes, Shirley.
Hi, Marilyn. Hoe gaan dit?
Goed, dankie en self.
Goed, dankie. Maar dan ek moet jou hoor, nee, ek is bietjie onseker. Sê maar ek het my lead magnet nou uitgestuur, want ek het dit al gedoen en ek het nou e-mails teruggekry. Ek het ook al reeds my e-book gedoen, maar ek het hom nog nie gelaunch nie. So ek wil net weet hoe lank moet ek wag as ek die lead magnet gestuur het? Hoe lank moet ek wag om die e-book ook uit te stuur daarna, die payable e-book?
Okay, I can let you answer in English. So basically exactly the same as what we said to Lisa. You know, have you set up the email nurture, those few emails that go out after they've downloaded the thing? Okay, so I would, after that, just once you've got, because this is a specific launch that like Lisa's done, and I'm assuming you've also sent out a lead map to a specific group, then I would wait for like a week or maybe 2 days after your last email goes out. And then I would say, again, do that special offer with just for like a limited time. It could be a 24-hour, 48-hour, it could be a week, it could be a weekend, like, but the shorter you keep it, the better, because if you do it 7 days, I can guarantee you no one's going to buy. Some people will buy and then they won't, and they'll all buy at the last minute. So you might as well just keep it short and sweet. I like for that specific, when it's something so specific, and it's not a big entry barrier, like it's not a 10,000 Rand thing. So it's much smaller. So the decisions should be much easier to make. They don't have to go and consult with anyone. Can they spend the money? So I would keep it to like 48 hours. And then just back to what we were talking about, the urgency, the scarcity, put those specials on just to encourage people to buy it. But Jana, I've gone. What was your response like that you got from the lead magnet?
My negative seker wanneer uitgestuur de maandag of dinsdag.
Oh, okay, verlede week.
Ja, verlede of Vrydag. Nie seker nie, maar ek het dit uitgestuur en die mense het nou begin met ek het 'n webwerf, so hulle het nou klaar begin aanteken en vir my goed gestuur en gedownload. Is nie so baie nie, maar ek het al reeds ander e-mails gehad. So ek het net so 5 of 6, ek het nou 7 gekry. Nou deurgekom. 7 mense wat so dis hoekom ek gewonder hoe lank moet ek wag voor ek nou die payable een opsit.
Yeah, so the way you can do it is you can actually schedule your nurture, and then like, let's just say you do 3 emails, that your 4th email goes out 2 days after that last one, and it'll automatically then go out as well. So it doesn't matter when someone signs on, they're going to get the 3 emails, and then 2 days after the last email, they're going to get the one talking about. Again, just make sure that you start off that email addressing the pain point, addressing the struggle, where they're struggling with it. And what you found is that so many women complained, or so many ladies, I'm not sure what you do, but just talking about Lisa, so many ladies were struggling with doing their makeup, even after I helped them, that I decided to put together this ebook that will give you a step-by-step way or whatever to go through it. So if you are that person, for the next 48 hours, I'm putting out this ebook available to everybody. It's only for 48 hours, but as this is a new ebook I'm launching, I'm going to give you 25% discount, 50% discount, whatever, or the first 10 people are going to get 50% off, whatever you decide on doing.
Okay.
Urgency is good.
Ja, en dan is daar nog een vraagje. Ek is besig om my course map te doen. So ek het gesien daar is die mini course en dan wat was die ander twee? Ek kan nie onthou nie. Ek wil net seker maak want jy het gesê jou mini course het jy in 'n e-book gesit. Nou weet ek nie, moet ek dit in 'n e-book sit, die mini course, of moet ek dit net 'n video daarvan maak?
Yeah. You can decide whichever way you want to do it. Okay, so the way, if I had to sell SOS as a course, that I would consider SOS as a mini course because it's short, it's sweet. There's only a couple of videos under each module. For me, that's a short course. Then my funnels one would be that middle course, that medium course. Again, there's 4 modules in it. But it shows you exactly, there's a lot more detail in each one. And that one is also, funnels is a specific problem that we creating a solution for, okay? It's specifically to set up a sales funnel, where the Digital Product Lab is my signature course. That is my main course where we discuss all the things around digital product, etc., as you know. But you can do your course that it's always good to start with a mini course, just solving one small problem. It's an easy way to just get into it for you and for your ideal customer. And just to feel each other out, I would just keep it really simple, do a couple of modules, couple of videos under each one, and keep it to a specific subject.
Yeah, that's also good.
Yeah. What do you do, Shirley? Just remind me again.
Self-care.
Self-care. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So just definitely, I would do it in a course form. The ebook is great. Like we've also got the ebooks on mindset, and there's a couple of social media. We've created, well, Steve created the one on mindset, but we've created a couple of ebooks. But those are great for people to start off with. And then in the course, again, you just go that little bit more deeper, where I think there's just something different to reading something and actually learning from someone talking to you and working through planners, working through a workbook, whatever it might be. And also then if there is a group community with a call like this, it definitely makes a big difference.
Okay. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah, I think the natural progression, like for Lisa, for example, and you, Shirley, is, the lead magnet is quite close to the offer that you're going to make, which is now the ebook. And then the natural progression after that, if somebody's read it, I know if it was me, for example, I've read the book. If Lisa now came up with a mini course, a 6-week series of, chapter 1 is week 1 or video 1, and chapter 2 is video 2, where now you're actually explaining and you're putting on the lipstick and makeup and whatever you need to do, so that I can actually visually watch and say, oh, okay, that's how I put on my makeup or my lipstick or whatever. So that'll just, bump it up. And then just like stepping stones, like Maren says, it's difficult to take a cold person off the street from 0 to a 10,000 Rand product or 20,000 Rand product or 5,000 Rand product. It's a hell of a lot easier to give them the lead magnet for free, get them into your world, and then the 99, $3.99, and progress it upwards like that.
Okay. Thank you.
I think a great example is a recipe book. We all buy recipe books and then you read it. And sometimes you read that recipe and you just think, what do they mean with like this? I mean, and you just, the minute Jamie Oliver is on TV, and even though you've got all his recipe books and now he shows you and you're watching him do it, there's just something different. Like it's almost like more doable the minute you see him do it, as opposed to just reading his recipe book. So just think about what it is that your ideal customer is struggling with. And then, that's a great way to then just take it to that next level to make something better. So for instance, we, about 2 years ago, babe, we created the ebook on how to write your first ebook. And then it originally started just with the ebook. And then we created the whole 10, 12, geez, I can't remember how many videos
20.
there are. 20
20.
videos of going through basically what we've put in the ebook, but we created a video and showing step by step what we do. Plus then Michaela created the videos on how to then sell it. So, which is basically, you guys have all got access to that. So in the how to write your first ebook. So that whole thing just started off originally as an ebook. And then we added in all the videos and the technical stuff and everything and sold it then for much more.
Thank you.
All right. Pleasure. Any other questions?
Hi, Maren. About that ebook that you did originally, was that a free ebook or was that a paid?
No, it was a paid ebook.
Paid ebook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100. It was originally 149 for the ebook, and then we put the whole thing together, and it was 1,999 for the
Okay.
ebook and the workshop.
I'm just starting to think about, I was going to do just to the finish, I'm still at the same place, doing the ebook, but that was going to be free. So if that is free, then I don't have a book as such. What could be my next step to maybe take that ebook, take those points and expand it, and then create a video training
Workshop.
with that?
Yeah, or workshops. What were you going to do your ebook on?
Increasing
Finances.
profits.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, definitely you can do various, see, there's different entry levels of anything. When you're trying to build up an audience, and when you're trying to build up leads, some people will stay on your entry level offer, whether that's like my SOS or your ebook or whatever. I call that like an entry level offer. Some people will stay there forever and they'll just say, that's what I want, and they don't want more. But you're always going to have people that want the next thing. Like, okay, how more can you help me? What's the next level that you can help me? And then they'll purchase that. And then it's like, again, okay, what's the next level that you can help me? Like people are always, that percentage gets smaller and smaller from your original group of leads that came in from your lead magnet, then to your ebook, say your first entry level paid offer, and then it gets smaller and smaller. But remember, your price is becomes more and more. So you've just got to think of what is the next thing of value that you can give your ideal customer. And it's that journey that they're going on. So if you're going to give them whatever value in the ebook, what you still in that ebook, you've got to leave them with something oh, okay, so I need to do that. Now I wonder how I'm going to do that. And that thing that they then, okay, so you talked about, I'm going to use my example. So I get people into SOS, talk all about the social media and the branding and all that. And then I'll say, but now the next thing that you need to do is you need to create leads. You need to set up an automated funnel so that you can get new leads into your business every day. Oh, okay. So how do I do that? Oh, you have to go to the next one. Can you see it? So I'm giving them what they need at the entry level, but you always have to leave them with what is the next thing that they need in their journey that you can offer them. And then once they've got the leads, so for me in my business, the majority of people will stop after funnels and webinars because everybody, no matter what type of business you've got, needs everything up to funnels and webinars. However, only your coaches, course creators, those people that want to create digital products is going to go up to the digital lab. So you've just got to work out what is it that your customer needs at the next level, and then you create it that way.
Okay. I've got obviously various touch points in terms of how I can assist an entrepreneur, because running a business is one thing. That's one sector of the business. So you need to have systems. So we're looking at Sage and how to utilize that. I know there are online videos with that. So it's those things. Then it's looking at the entrepreneur in terms of understanding how they need to basically look at the business. So there's kind of various aspects of looking at a business in terms of helping the business owner in their personal capacity as well as in the business capacity. But I'm particularly looking at business owners, not individual people that do not have businesses. So I need to kind of find ways to link all these things together in terms of assisting, you know, in separating the business, understanding how to boost your score, you know, your profile and all those things as well. And it's all part of running a business.
So you
might not
can I
realize
jump
it,
in
but
there,
I think,
Dom?
yeah, I was just going to say, but you're busy answering your own question now.
Yeah, so
How to link those things, because I'm talking about one angle. Okay, this, you're looking at your numbers. Now, how do you interpret the numbers? So you've already got the business, you're going. So now you've got your income statement and balance sheet. How do I kind of make sense, or, you know, what can I look at in terms of growing that? That's what I was looking at. But before that, there's all those other things as well. It's like a little tree. And how do you basically add to make sense, to basically tie it into more of a holistic picture? So like you say, leading on, where am I starting? Am I starting on too far? Or, but I think that is an attraction, because everybody wants to know how to increase their profitability. But there's so much more to it.
yes, so what you could do is you could specialize. I'm just going back, thinking back in reverse. If it was me, specialize in a specific industry, for example. Just going to say hotel and tourism, for example. That you could be the specialist in showing people how to increase profitability in that one sector, for example. Or you could specialize in businesses that turn over 10 million or more. Or are you specializing in many businesses, getting somebody from 1 million to 2 million? You know, because the messaging is going to be slightly different depending on the scale of the business and the sector maybe they're in. So there's a bit of differentiation there you can make. With regards to your ebook, you don't necessarily have to give out the ebook for free. What you could do is, just like having a mini course, you could have like a mini version of your ebook. So it could be like an extended version of a lead magnet. So in between a 1-page lead magnet and a 50-page ebook, you might have a 15-page ebook, 15 strategies for the small business owner to double their profits in the next 34 days. All right. What are the 15 strategies? Number 1, have you got a system in place? What are your systems for A, B, C, D? Number 2, and then you just give them just enough of a hook, you know, to like, oh shit, actually, I don't have systems in place. Number 2, BEE scorecard, whatever the case may be, you know, a little bit on that. So now you've given them a taste of 15 little item menus there, but you haven't really given them enough, but you've given them enough to show that you know what you're talking about. Okay, so that could be your free option, is like 15 half pages or 15 strategies. But now they need your help. So now the upsell could be, well, here's the full book. It actually goes a bit deeper into this. That could be one upsell. Other upsell could be, let me do a free consult for your business, or paid consult for your business. I'll have a look specifically at your systems, for example. Or I'll specifically look at the way you can increase your BEE scorecard, for example.
Basically, you know, I've got, like I said, diagnostic software. So basically, I could utilize your own numbers to basically, you know, like you say, consulting.
Yeah, and that could be a freebie. I don't know what these things cost, because that's not my game. But I mean, it could be something extremely valuable, and you can say, and then you can only do it like on one part of their business or one department in their business, just for them to get a taste of, geez, she knows what she's talking about. This software is powerful. I know within 10 minutes, I know where the shortcomings are. You know, I better invest in Judy, and let's broaden this thing a bit more.
Okay. So there's quite a few angles I need to look at. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, the first thing I think is decide who you want to, because it's going to be a little bit difficult, tricky. I think if you say, I help businesses increase their profitability.
Yeah. I was thinking about owner-managed businesses, but you know, the entrepreneur between 1 and 2 million is very different between maybe 5, it is between 5 and 10 more.
Exactly. So if
So,
depending on your price point of your products, obviously if that software costs a lot of money, and you want to start off with guys that are turning over a lot more, so that you don't go through all the work and then they say, oh, well, I can't afford 1,000 Rand a month or 5,000 Rand a month for what you're offering.
okay. Thanks so much.
Pleasure.
Okay, are there any other questions before we go?
I have a question, Maren.
Hi, Patty.
Hi, Patty. Struggling with internet here, so I might well disappear. And it's probably so it's a Facebook question, and maybe it's somewhere, but I haven't seen it. So I have a Facebook page, Patty Blameyer. Okay, I have a page for purposeful parenting, and I'm a body stress release practitioner, so I have a page for that. Now, what I'm finding is that on my purposeful parenting page, I've got very few responses. I get many more responses from my Patty Blameyer page. But the problem there is that it's so many of my body stress release colleagues and friends, and they're not in the category of younger parents. Now, I'm not quite sure. Oh, and Instagram is all right. I've probably got about 100 followers on Instagram, and a lot of them are also friends and colleagues, but there are more younger people on there. Now, my question, do I actually stick to only Patty Blameyer and sort of eliminate the purposeful parenting page? Or do I focus on the purposeful parenting page and try and make that one grow, where I don't have as many people following me?
Patty, I think can you maybe just mute yourself while I answer? Okay. I think the most important thing is to understand that it's not about the amount of followers that you've got, but about that it's the right followers. It's much better having 100 people that's following you, and it's the right people for your business, for the offer, for what you're trying to sell, because you can have 1,000 people and they can respond and whatever. If they're not your ideal customer, they're never going to buy from you. So then it's absolutely pointless. So I would rather just, you need to decide, I mean, it depends what's the name of your business. I don't know, have you got a website, or what are you going to work under? If you're going to work under Patty Blameyer, I would do it under that name. If you're going to work under your children's page name, then that's what you've got, then I would use that. And also you've got to make sure whatever you're doing on Instagram, you've got to do on on Facebook. Your names have got to stay the same over all your social media platforms, so that people actually recognize you no matter which platform they're on. So I think those are key things. And then it's just a question of going into Facebook groups, going into groups and giving your feedback, answering people's questions, so that, and I tend to, if I can go into a group as my page, I will, and I'll answer as my page, because when people then go and check me out, they're actually going to my page, and they'll more than likely follow you on your page. So, but it's definitely the quickest way of getting more people to see your post is by interacting with other people who are your ideal customers, not just random people or friends or family. You want to start interacting with people that are your ideal customer. Just unmute yourself.
Thank you, Maren. I'll have to think that one through and just see which way I must go. Because at the moment I'm posting on Instagram and my 2 Facebook pages. I'm just posting everything the same. I'm not sure, I'm not really sure about which page I'm going to go with.
I definitely
guess
wouldn't
I'll
use
have-
2 pages. I would just use one. I mean, it's a lot of work to keep 2 pages going. So use your Instagram and decide on another one. What is the name of your Instagram account?
It's Patty Blamire, Purposeful Parenting.
Okay, so that's what I would do then. That should be your page name on Facebook as well.
Okay, good. Thank you, Marin. I will be working with it. I am posting. I'm doing that.
Okay, have you started creating a lead magnet?
Yes, I have got one. But I thought that I just needed to build up some sort of, some sort of following, some people liking my page before, because there's no point putting out a lead magnet to all my friends and BSR colleagues.
Okay, so Patty, if you jump back on this call and go and listen to the beginning of this call, we actually took Lisa, you'll see what she's done now just to grow her audience by running a small Facebook ad. So just go back when we finish here and listen to the recording right at the beginning, where she actually goes through what she did to do it. And it's been a huge success. So I would definitely recommend that if you're struggling.
Sorry that I could be on the beginning of the call.
No,
We're just
that's
having
okay.
a lot of problems.
No, that's all good. Not a problem.
All right. Thank you so much.
Pleasure. Okay, ladies. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. If you've got any other questions, pop them in the Facebook group and we will do our best to help you out and answer them there. Hope you ladies have a wonderful week and we'll see you next week.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.